Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Today we're doing a deep dive into a fragrance that, well, based on everything we've looked at, it's more than just a scent. It's Spice Bomb. And our mission really for you today is to get why it's always described as, explosive,
Yeah.
why it's called a weapon of choice for making an impact, and what makes it such a big compliment magnet.
Right. And what our research really shows, well, it's how powerfully a sensory thing like fragrance can shape how people perceive things. It's not just
Yeah.
about smelling nice. It's engineered to get a specific strong reaction.
Hmm.
It gives us this really fascinating look into, consumer reactions and that subconscious pull.
That's a really key point. And speaking of explosive, you can't ignore the bottle. Our
Yeah.
sources all highlight this. It looks like a literal grenade. I mean, that's not exactly subtle, is it? It feels like a deliberate priming tool,
Yeah.
signaling that the scent is meant to detonate desire, make a really bold statement. Does that kind of aggressive look ever maybe overshadow the scent itself? Or does it all work together?
That's a great question. And actually, according to what we found, that's where the cleverness is. It seems like, far from clashing, the design actually primes people, the wearer, people around them. And the fragrance itself described as exploding with spicy warmth, smoky depth, and raw sensuality. It absolutely delivers on that promise. So when they call it a weapon of choice, it's about that synergy, its power, its projection, how it creates intrigue. It makes sure you're not just noticed, you're, well, remembered.
Okay, so moving from that bold look to the actual smell, the composition seems pretty sophisticated. Our notes describe it as a spicy, woody blend with a seductive edge. It's not just one thing, right? It sort of unfolds, kicks off with what's called a fiery burst of spice and citrus. We're talking top notes like pink pepper, grapefruit, bergamot, cinnamon, that initial hit. What's going on there chemically?
Well, that initial blast is really designed to grab your attention. It's meant to be bright, almost sparkling, before it settles down. And then from that energetic start, it moves into its warm, smoky heart. Those are the heart notes: saffron, paprika, and tobacco. These are absolutely crucial. They form the core character. It's the scent you experience most of the time it's on, giving it that unique, long-lasting signature, that rich kind of enveloping feel.
And then finishing the journey, our sources talk about the base notes as a rugged masculine dry down, specifically leather and vetiver. There was this one analogy we found that really stuck with me. Think of it as a spicy hug wrapped in leather.
Yeah.
Captures it perfectly, I think.
It really is like olfactory storytelling, the way it moves from those bright top notes through that rich, smoky middle and then down to that rugged base. It's not random. It's a very deliberate journey designed to catch you and then evolve on the skin. What's so interesting is how these different layers create this overall bold and incredibly long-lasting impression.
So if you're thinking about using this grenade of a scent, when's the best time? Our research seems pretty clear. Spice Bomb really comes alive in cooler weather and nighttime settings. Fall and winter, specifically, are pointed out as the best seasons. The notes apparently bloom in cold air. Why is that specific interaction with the cold so important here?
It's really about how the colder air carries those heavier, warmer notes. It amplifies them, but without letting them get too heavy or, cloying. Our findings say it's perfect for romantic dinners, parties, or nights out,
Hmm.
and ideal for making a lasting impression on special occasions. That's down to its bold projection.
Mm-hmm.
And conversely, the data really suggests avoiding it on hot summer days. It reinforces that this is engineered for impact in cooler settings.
And it definitely seems to have impact. The performance numbers we saw are, frankly, pretty impressive. We're looking at longevity, 8-10 hours with strong projection. That's substantial. And the sillage, the trail it leaves, the sources say, bold fills a room without overwhelming, which is a tricky balance, right? Not many pull that off. Beyond just performance, it's also flagged for its uniqueness, a real standout in the spicy fragrance category.
Mhm.
But interestingly, despite being unique, it still has mass appeal. Apparently, it's universally loved, especially in colder seasons. Does that broad appeal mean it risks becoming, I don't know, too common? Or does its distinctiveness keep it special?
That's a fair point about market saturation, but the reports suggest its specific mix, that warmth, spice, sensuality. It's so well done that even though lots of people like it, it keeps its signature feel.
Yeah.
It seems to avoid becoming just another generic scent because its character is just so well pronounced.
Okay, now this might be the most compelling bit from our research, especially for you listening. It comes from the section called What Women Think. And it grabs you right away, saying women are wild about Spice Bomb and not just on their partners. Then you get these quotes They're pretty striking, like this one. I work in a clinic, and when a male patient walked in wearing this, I swear I nearly mounted him. Oh, wow. And another one, just as intense. The most revolting man could wear this scent, and I would probably go out with him. And it's clearly not just for men, because a third person shares, I wear it myself. It's sexy, spicy, and addictive.
Yeah, those aren't just casual compliments, are they? They really point to something deeper. What these kinds of extreme reactions suggest is, well, it's about the profound, often subconscious power of smell, especially when it seems to bypass other factors in attraction, things we usually think are more dominant. I mean, the idea that someone could be seen as revolting, but the scent changes the game so drastically. That says a lot about our olfactory sense. It makes it crystal clear why it's called a compliment magnet and why it's even crossed gender lines to become a unisex favorite.
So, wrapping this all up, what's the essence of Spicebomb? Our sources really nail it, I think. It's a fragrance for the confident, the daring, and the unforgettable. It's consistently described as a scent that turns heads, sparks conversations, and leaves a trail of desire. Miss, if you're curious to try it, the reports mention you can often find it at affordable prices through Oak Fragrance. Plus, they suggest following their socials via Linktree if you want to deepen your cologne knowledge, for fragrance tips, new drops, and scent education.
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with, something to mull over. Given Spice Bomb's apparent power to ignite chemistry, like we heard, and seemingly override even significant perceived flaws in someone, how much of our sense of attraction or even confidence is really visual or based on personality? And how much might be subtly but really powerfully steered by our sense of smell, which we often underestimate? What could that tell us about the hidden cues we're all responding to? And maybe how much conscious control